A great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Detroit Lions. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point, but boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a fourth-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
Two touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook, and they're able to get this one across the 35. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 15 carries, 53 yards.
And how about that momentum run right there? Personally, what I do is I get right back to the line of scrimmage. I come right back at him before they get settled. He's locked in a little bit now. I guarantee he wants the ball again.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He was brought down by Devon Kennard. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Stephon Diggs had 8 touchdowns in the regular season. And then when it came to the postseason, a huge one in the playoffs. They'll be remembered forever, especially in Minnesota. Also helped to actually overshadow what a really nice year he had. Can catch the ball underneath and also take the top off of a defense with his speed.
3rd and long for Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'7" quarterback out of Memphis. It's Paxton Lynch.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On 2nd down, Lynch. A quick throw, but incomplete. defensively. Let's go ahead and meet the starting 11 from Minnesota. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Lynch. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On second down, Cook. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught,
and he fires one that's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense, that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation.
And his first carry, he loses the football. But I believe a Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Here's Blunt. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football. Lynch now throwing on 3rd. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well.
Personal
I think
foul.
this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Try and pound it in. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
No, check.
Now they'll look to throw it with Lynch. The quick slant caught. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback.
And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions are in for 6. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Now Matt Prater for the point after. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
We call that a sack block.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
First down, here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Throwing is Cousins. That's complete right around the 8. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Third and goal for Cousins. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. "13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down.
Let's go.
They start on the ground here with Blunt. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Green 39. Green.
Final play of the half. It's Lynch. Throwing deep for Galladay. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we have reached halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Off the play fake. Here's Lynch. He's going to fire one deep over. They've got his man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Here we go now.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he dumps it off to Blunt. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Now let's go.
On second down, here's Lynch. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Harrison Smith, the all-pro safety, was right there step for step defensively.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game, They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
On third down, Lynch. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now Cousins. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Cook following the penalty. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. The linebacker, Kelvin Shepard, brings him down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Cousins now. And an alley to run. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson with a return of 102 yards. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach, his head coach, to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
Prater for the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's taken to the 26. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Let's go.
They'll throw on 1st down with Lynch. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important, too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little game.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
Automatic
It's an
first
absolute
down.
killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teams.
Number 6, and the Lions add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point good by Prater, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock.